The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show, well, seems Baby Yoda has a little cuteness competition. We're climbing the Carpathian Mountains and running away from fucking Willem Dafoe. It's The Legend of Ochi from 2025. I'm Riggs.
I'm Eddie.
And this is the Film Addicts podcast.
Hell fucking yeah, man.
Welcome back, friends and neighbours, fish people, small blue ape cat things that live in the mountains, and girls who have really, really red noses, and all of you as well. Hey, what's happening? Welcome back. What's going on, Eddie? What's happening with you?
Oh, nothing much. Just living and existing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Otherwise, this would be a Conjuring podcast.
Oh, Christ.
Is that movie good?
It is absolutely not.
The Conjuring movie, the first Conjuring movie. I'm not talking about nuns or red doors or any of that stuff or whatever the fuck it is. Isn't there a bunch of sequels to The Conjuring?
Yeah, they're four.
I know this isn't what we're talking about, everybody, but it's pertinent. I need to know because I've been asked to watch the first one.
Well, the first one is great. It's James Wan. I think it's it's really well made. I'll say that. The second one is more of a thriller, but I think James Wan as a director improved like his filmmaking. In that, like he improved from the first one to now, or to the second one. It's like both of them are really good like family drama stories. But
with horror elements, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And ghosts and goblins.
Yeah. But everything else is not good. Like
Okay.
You lose like the DNA when you have James Wan as a producer, but you never let him direct. Like the writers of like the Annabelle films and like La Llorona and the Nun films, like those are the people who then went on to direct the third Conjuring and the fourth one. And like he's attached as a producer because he started this, but they not only do not know how to like write good horror, they also don't know how to direct. But there's one, I think it's Annabelle Comes Home, that's like good in like that trilogy of films.
Hang on a minute. Annabelle, as in the possessed doll, that's part of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, I mean the first. Okay.
Fucking hell!
Oh,
so they've got nuns, they've got dolls that come alive. What else? They got Batman. Like what the fuck?
I know they've got the Crooked Man.
Oh, okay. I can't even begin. I just want to watch the first one, and that's the end. I think I don't know if I want to get into everything.
The first one is great. It's a very self-contained story. There's no like setup for a sequel or whatever. It's a really good like family horror film.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Something you weren't expecting for this episode for The Legend of Ochi. We're talking about the fucking Conjuring universe. Anyway, Nun begins. What's been happening? What's been happening? Oh, no, wait. Yeah. I must tell you, before we get started, watching Legend of Ochi. What's the purple stuff that you get sometimes and it's like a smoothie?
Ube?
No. Acai. A chai. ACAI. Anyway.
Acai? No, that's acai. Not it. That's not it.
That's not it? No, that sounds pretty right. I keep calling it a chai, please. I'll have a chai, yeah. And they're like, are you having a stroke? And I say yes, and they go, please leave the pool. There's children here. Stop stroking it. What am I doing? Okay, I'm talking about The Legend of Ochi. This is me masturbating in a pool, right? No, I wasn't sure if that was what you were laughing from because it's pretty funny.
No, with a bunch of fucking kids around, man. You put that there.
Oh, no.
That was all you.
I'm not saying it's okay. It happened though, and it's on the pod now. Anyway, I'm watching this movie, and I'm at home watching it, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm about 25 minutes in or something like that. And Paul does a shit. Paul, my cat. I go up, I clean it. He's a fucking huge cat, so he always makes a mess of the litter, like he kicks it onto the floor. It's in a dome thing, but he always manages to get out the fucking door somehow because he's a small bear. I clean it all up. I go back down. I sit down. 5 minutes! Perry has a shit. I get up. I go and clean it. He's a little bit tidy, but still had to clean the mat and the floor again. Huge shit because he's like the size of a Wolverine. Not Hugh Jackman, obviously. An actual Wolverine, the Canadian wildebeest. Canadian wildebeest? Canadian beast that lives in the wilderness. Clean it up. Sitting down for maybe another 10 minutes. Clark has a shit. It was triple shits. It's shit 1, 2, 3. And they know that I've got to clean it. And then I've done it. And then they go and do it again. It's often when I change the whole tray, you've got to do that every few days or whatever, because there's 3 of the buggers. And we've got this, tray for them, whatever, clean it out. As soon as I do it, someone's waiting at the laundry door for a shit or a piss. Anyway, just getting upset about doing cat dad stuff. How are you? What's going on?
Hi, nothing much, man. Just like I said, they're living and thriving.
Yeah. How's film club?
Yeah, it's good. I forced them to watch The Iron Claw the other day. That was my pick.
The wrestling picture?
Yep.
Yeah.
The buggers fucking cried, which is all I wanted.
Yeah, right on. I still haven't seen it. Might do that as a double bill with a smashing machine. Well, okay. Well, then do you want to talk about what we've been watching then? You can talk about Iron Claw.
Yeah. Let's do, what are we?
That'll make more sense when you've seen Legend of Oshi, by the way. Actually, it
didn't make sense to me.
That was bad. It was, does that sound at all like what happens in the movie?
A little bit.
I've only got one thing, so I will go first this time. Now, normally you say, oh, you go first, no, you go first. Off topic, I'm really looking forward to watching the director's cut of Dr. Sleep again for Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought about it today. Anyway, regardless of that, what are we watching? I've been really busy. I've been like back end of my 7th film clip in 5 months. So it was big, and they had really hard dates and in terms of release dates, so I was under the pump. So I've only had a chance to watch a couple of things. One of them was a new thing, so I'll get to that first. The Thursday Murder Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Helen Mirrens, Pierce Brosnan, Sabine Kingsley, and they play people in a retirement village who are who get together and solve old murders. And Helen Mirren's characters, used to work for MI6 or whatever, and it's sort of you know what it really felt like? It felt like a kids movie for old people. And I know that sounds weird, but it had the temperament of a children's movie or an adolescent film, but it was specifically geared towards old people. And I loved it. It was just a good old time. Pierce Brosnan can get it. Ben Kingsley can get it. Helen Mirren can fucking definitely get it. They are just delicious older people. It's like Harrison Ford. And it was just a good time. It was a bit of fun, I loved it. Anyway, that was my thing. And I started watching... I'd started when it came out, and I trailed off after the first episode for some reason. I don't know why. But then it won every Emmy ever. So I started rewatching, is it The Studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Seth Rogen show. And it won it broke the record for Emmys won.
Yeah, Emmy ones for first season.
For a first season, yeah, and it beat something that didn't do, like The Bear or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it beat The Bear, which broke the record last year, but then this year they were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, that's for whatever reason that is. But I just started watching it. It was giving me a fucking panic attack. Like the whole first episode with Martin Scorsese and him running around and doing the backdoor deals and all that stuff. And then I started the second episode, and where he's about to ruin that shot in Sarah Polley's movie, the sunset shot, because of his stupid ideas. It was too much. I had to turn it off.
It's too real?
No, it was just, no, I don't live in that environment. Like, I'm not, that's super, super Hollywood. Like, normal film production here, it's not like that at all. Even when you're working on big stuff, it doesn't feel like that. But it's more just like the situations were making me so uncomfortable. I had to stop and go and pat my cats for a little while. Too much, man. Too much.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite show of this year, actually.
I'm enjoying it, but I just, you know who's great in it is Catherine Hahn. How she talks about Steve, he's like, he's literally one of the greatest actors alive. And she's like, if he walked in here right now, I would throw him on this table, straddle him, and fuck him to death. In only the way that Catherine Hahn can deliver that, It's fantastic. I loved it.
Oh, man, there's one episode with Ron Howard, and I cannot wait for you to get there, man. Like,
Ron Howard, the director?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Like how they had Martin Scorsese in. Martin Scorsese got nominated for an Emmy for that role.
Best, guest appearance.
Best guest appearance.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty great in it. He's just being himself, which is, kind of interesting. But yeah, I just think Seth Rogen is just pulling every string that he has. He's calling in a lot of favors to make that show, and it seems to have paid off for him. So good. I feel like he kind of is that guy a little bit. He came to Hollywood to work on important movies, and he ended up being the butt of every joke in every movie for over nearly 20 years or something. And then he finally starts doing some interesting, legitimate work. And then he's like, fuck this. I'm going to talk about the entire time I've been here and how absolutely batshit crazy it is, because he's been a producer and a writer for years. So, yeah, I'm digging it. I'm getting back into it. Just trying to make more use of my Apple subscription because the motherfuckers put their prices up again. So everything goes up every year as if we're all making more money. But
that's what I want to see all the time, man.
What, sorry?
I want to see all the time when I'm watching the shows.
You're on the sea, like out in the ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. You're making a pirate joke. How did I miss that? How did I miss a pirate joke? It's because you didn't do the voice. You didn't go, I be out here watching all sorts of shows.
You did the voice.
Yeah.
All the time.
To go from, I remember you said to me once, you have to first think in your own language what you want to say, like your native language, which is what, sorry?
Hindi.
Hindi, right. You got to think in that, and then you've got to translate it to English and then say it. I don't have to translate shit. It just comes straight out. To then put on top of that a pirate's accent, that's a lot.
It's okay. It's normal.
No, it's just very impressive. What have you been watching, my friend?
Wait, the studio was all that you were watching? And Magical?
Yeah, pretty much. Like that I'm, that I feel warrants talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched a couple of things. I watched The Roses with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, right. It's a remake of The War of the Roses, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a title that is... do you know the history of The War of Roses?
No, I just know the movie with Michael Douglas.
Shit, okay. So the War of the Roses was the war that was caused by the numerous amount of people that Henry VIII fucked. And so the combination of two houses coming together, because they were both this is a fucking history lesson for some fucking reason.
Whatever.
I can't remember the houses' names, but both houses were represented by roses. So one was a white rose and the other one was a red rose. And Elizabeth I was the one from the from the Red Rose family to marry into the White Rose, ending the war. And so the time period where the war happens is called the War of the Roses. Yeah. And so, like, the current monarchy in the UK is also descendants of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool fact. What does that have to do with the Benedict Cumberbatch, Olivia Colman picture? Nothing? Just the name?
Yeah, because it triggered a memory, and I loved reading about the War of the Roses in school. It was the only subject I could fucking score in.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, sorry, no, you go ahead. I was going to ask about it anyway.
The Roses is a really, really tight comedy film that is insane in its third act, and it's pure chaos, and I loved it. I think it's in my top 10 of the year.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks good. I saw the short for it the other day. Yeah, well, I mean, the original War of the Roses gets absolutely bonkers in the third act too.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to kill each other.
Yeah, and she bites his penis.
What?
Yeah, they're getting all violent with each other, and then it slowly turns seductive, and then she bites the dickie, and then you see him using his bidet, the bidet on it. It's the 80s was strange. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
And that reminds me of this like Netflix original film that I watched like a long while ago, like fucking 2018 or something. It's called The Package. It's about these bunch of like teenagers who go into the woods for camping, and one of them has that like switchblade. And so like in the middle of the film, or like in the middle of the jungle, he's peeing and he's playing with the switchblade, and it's dark, so he just cuts it off. And the package is the dick in an icebox being carried to a hospital by a helicopter because they're in the middle of the woods.
That sounds like something from that show, The Studio.
That it doesn't end there. Like when they go and they have the operation, there's like coincidentally another guy whose dick got cut off, and so they like confuse both of them, and then like both of them have like each other's dicks sewed onto each other.
Hang on, you're making this up.
I'm not. I'm really not. And so the other guy, his dick.
This is a conversation that two people would have high. Like someone was pitching a movie to this other person. Like, yeah, man. And then the fucking they swap dicks. Yeah, that's fucking hysterical, man. Harold and Kumar swap dicks. Like it's no.
It's just talking. Just go into
Is swapping dicks technically docking? I don't know. Is swapping dicks technically gay? Like, I mean, I don't know. I can't believe that's a movie.
Yeah. And so the other guy who's in the hospital, whose dick
there's more?
Yeah. Because the other poor guy, man, he's like, his dick got cut off because his girlfriend found out that he was cheating on her, and then she gave him a blowjob and bit his dick off.
That's what you get.
And then, like, he goes to the hospital and gets sewn back, but it's the other guy's dick. And then she cuts it off with a scissor.
Yeah, well,
I was so uncomfortable watching that.
Don't disrespect your relationship and cheat on people. You get your dick cut off. Just ask John Wayne Bobbitt.
What is that reference?
Oh, a long time ago, a woman named Lorena Bobbitt cut off her husband's penis after he cheated on her. And he was abusive as well. Snap. Drove it with her in the car and threw it in a parking lot or something. There's a big story. A lot of comedians got a lot of joke shoe leather out of that. Anyway, talk about Tangent, the podcast again. Yeah. What have you been watching? Not The Package.
Yeah, not The Package. That just triggered another memory. So I watched The Roses, and then I watched I rewatched The Iron Claw for the film club. And man, I gotta tell you, I don't think I can watch it again. I watched it twice in like a month, and it goes so dark, and it's real, like all of it happened, and like the more you think about it, the more you kind of hate like the circumstances that are presented, and it's genuinely really heartbreaking, and that film was robbed from every single Oscar. Like it was the Babylon of last year. Well, Babylon won like 1 or 2, but yeah, this was never mentioned. And like Zac Efron really acts his fucking ass off. Like that man deserved a Best Actor nomination for that role.
He's an exceptional young actor. He's been great for a really long time, but he just gets pigeonholed because he's good looking, and he came from sort of teen stuff. Hey, Paulie, came from teen stuff. You know, it's see him in The Paperboy or what is it, The World's Greatest Beer Run, and you know he's done some really interesting. We Are Your Friends is a fucking amazing film where he plays a DJ. Definitely. He's got a lot of really interesting work ahead of him, that young man. There was a question I was going to ask about it. Oh, no, I was going to say about Babylon. Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie are doing the press circuit at the moment for A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, and they brought up Babylon, and she was like, yeah, we don't really know why that happened. And he's like, I know, I fucking loved it. This is Colin Farrell. She's like, maybe in time, people will kind of look back and go, that movie was genius. She's like, if you love it, I love you because I love it. Like her telling me that she loves me is neither here nor there. I mean, it's great to hear that from Margot Robbie, but it's more just like I absolutely believe that in 10 or 15 years' time, people are going to look at Babylon and go, he was one of the last people to try and do something like that, you know, to do a big thing. Like even people like P.T. Anderson is gearing sort of more box office friendly at the moment with One Battle After Another. If you see the trailer for that, it's like an action movie, you know. So yeah, I feel like in retrospect, it's gonna have a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, just like on Babylon, I think we were Babylon stands. Sorry, we were Babylon stands from day one.
Yeah, I loved it. Again, it's almost a 5-star movie for me. Apart from that, the last
20 minutes
of that film.
Oh yeah.
No, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I like how it ends. It just should have ended on Manny crying, not cut to a reverse of him watching the evolution of cinema and putting the Avatar in your movie and shit like that. Like I know what he's doing. I know what Damien Chazelle was doing. I get the point, but the point was made. I don't think you need to do that. But anyway, we're not talking about Babylon. We'll talk about some other things. But before we talk about some other things, let's do the nerd news. Just a couple of quick ones here. Michael Caine will come out of retirement at the age of 92. And do you know why he's doing that?
For the Vin Diesel D&D fantasy film?
The Last Witch Hunter 2.
Oh, fuck me.
What the fuck are you talking about? He won't come out of retirement for Christopher Nolan, but he'll come out for The Witch Hunter 2. What did they offer him? Seriously, the world?
Well, I saw this like video where they were like explaining Vin Diesel and Mike.
And blessings upon your house. It's very late, everybody, and I've been up for like 20 hours. That's fucking hysterical, dude. Sorry.
Right. So like Vin Diesel and Michael Caine have been friends for like 20 years. Like there's a picture of him like...
Yeah, they're good mates.
Yeah. So like, obviously. Plus, Vin Diesel needs to know that if he can sustain Hollywood after fucking Fast and Furious.
He doesn't really have to. Like, he'd have to love the work. He's not making The Witch Hunter 2 because he needs the money. Like, he'd be making bank. Every time someone even says the words Fast and Furious, that dude gets a check. We're going to have to pay him a few dollars just for this fucking episode. So, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it was that movie. You know James Gunn?
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that? What, did he punch you in the throat and steal your candy? Did he steal your Choco Triangles or whatever the fuck? Go back to our Jaws Menteri for that.
Yeah, he kind of did. But whatever.
Yeah, But do you know the story I'm about to tell? You mustn't. James Gunn confirms, first, The Man of Tomorrow is the sequel to Superman, and it's getting fucking made, and it's coming out in, 2027? It will officially begin filming in April of 2026. This guy, he said he's got this writing ritual where he gets 10 pages done a day. And if he doesn't, then he tacks it on to the next day. He knows how to bash out a script. Like within the space of only a few months, he wrote Superman, Creature Commandos, and all of the second season of Peacemaker. 700 pages of script, like within a few months. He was writing while he was on holiday, much to the chagrin of his family, he said in an interview. Yeah, he's a fucking worker, man. He's gonna put that company back on the map in terms of just its output, and its consistency. Definitely, whatever happens. But yeah, officially begin filming next motherfucking year. Crazy. Yeah,
2027 is gonna be stacked because we have Beyond the Spider-Verse, hopefully. Secret Wars. No, Doomsday is next year.
Is it? They did wrap filming this week.
Yeah, because they have to see if the movie works, and then they'll have fucking 6 months of more reshoots.
Yeah, that's true. And fucking Downey's out there hawking a movie he's not even in. He's out there selling Play Dirty, the Shane Black adaptation of one of the Parker novels, the Richard Starking novels, with fucking Mark Wahlberg in it, because Downey was supposed to play that character, the Parker character, and it's Mark Wahlberg, the fucking most hideous actor of all time. And I don't mean ugly. He's got an ugly spirit about him sometimes, but I think he's a terrible actor.
Also, somebody who says that they could have stopped 9/11 if they were on the plane is not a good person. Stay the fuck away.
Yeah, well, there's something to be said about shutting the fuck up.
Yep, definitely.
Not everything needs to be said out loud. You know what I mean? There's a difference between talking and saying something. We're just talking about Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday. James Marsden, fantastic, will return as Cyclops from the original X-Men films. And he said, you can feel that it's something special. The world's ready for a movie like this, and these worlds are ready to collide. Cool. I don't think he knows what movie he's in. I just feel like everybody's like vaguer than normal, I think he's in it for about 45 seconds, I reckon. Apparently it's that, I read today, that universe, the X universe where, Beast is and where Photon ended up at the end of Marvels. Is that right? I still haven't seen that. So, and getting people in and Deadpool and Wolverine and all that shit. Apparently it's that universe that's causing what I assume is what they did in Multiverse of Madness, which is what do they call it? Is it not a collision?
Incursion.
It's something else. An incursion. I'm feeling like that's the one that's incurging. And I also saw that, spoilers everybody if you haven't seen Fantastic Four, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doom comes and does he take the kid?
No. So that's okay, because if he did take the kid, then they would have to pay Melinda Downey. So they don't show his face, it's just a green cloak. And the guy is just what we assume is Doom, looking at Franklin, and Franklin is touching his face. Or we see it from behind.
And that's all there's no words or anything, it's just the action of that?
Yeah, it was just that.
It was Downey. Matt Shattuck, he came out and said that it was the Russos that shot that.
Could have been. Listen, if you put Robert Downey Jr. and you just shoot his back, that means that he's not there, because then you got to pay him a fucking $1 million for a 2-second scene.
I think it might have been hey, let's turn the camera this way and get this kid in here and just do a pickup, It's all be green screen anyway.
Everybody who listens to the podcast knows my feeling about fucking Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. I've been saying it for fucking 2 years now.
Because he's white. He's white. He's white. He's white as white. He's so white, he's almost clear. That's a joke for the go. Any last thoughts on Cyclops and Doomsday?
I hope we get a hold the line sequence, but with Cyclops.
Yeah. I hope we get a sex scene between him and Logan.
Oh man, they will never do that.
No, they absolutely. My God, what an absolute shift they would make in just in media if that happened. Can you imagine if we were there and all of a sudden, or even if they thruple, even if it was Jean was in the mix as well, but they had a gangbang, fucking, it would change the game. It would fucking change the game, mate.
Yeah, like
love it.
It's happened in like the House of X comics with Jonathan Hickman, where like it's a reimagined world, and like Xavier kind of becomes a god and like bursts Krakoa, and because everybody dies, and so like he bursts Krakoa as like a living place inside Earth, and he like, sorry, I'm a little sick, and he like recreates all the X-Men's DNAs. So like they like the first comic is like them hatching out of like pods that are attached to trees, and like Cyclops comes out and like his like concussion blast is on the go, and like they're all naked and shit. But like in that run, like you find out that it not only are Logan, Jean, and Scott in a throuple. Sometimes Logan and Scott just have fun and they don't need Jean. And that was my favorite part.
Excellent. Make more of that happen, Disney or Marvel, whatever's happening. I'm just going to end on a dour note. R.I.P. or Val, whatever that means. Robert Redford. Unbelievable. He's just one of those people, is such a titan that you feel like they're going to be around forever. You know, someone like a Robin Williams. I know he was an old man, Robert Redford, and Robin Williams' circumstances are very different. He was, Robert Redford was 89. But, it was still came as a bit of a shock. Absolute powerhouse as an actor and a director. Was always one of my favorites. The first film I think the first film I would have seen him in would have been Sneakers. And the film where he really struck me was Spy Game. And then, it was around about the time I was in film school. And then I went back and, saw his earlier stuff like The Sting, and in particular 3 Days of the Condor, which I think is fantastic. All the President's Men. Incredible director as well. Just, made some beautiful pictures. Barefoot in the Park is another fantastic performance, comedy performance, which was so rare from him. Just doing stellar work all the way up to the end. All the best, Robert. We'll see you on the other side, mate. Hope we come up there and you're making some good pictures.
Fuck yeah, man. I remember watching All the President's Men for my journalism class and just being blown away by his acting. Like both his chemistry with Dustin Hoffman as well. Like it's insane because like the things that they talk about in that film are so real.
They don't make films that are that honest anymore. They really don't, especially about journalism. Spotlight was maybe pretty close, but they wouldn't dare do it now. Too many people watching. Well, speaking of watching, I watched this only hours ago. I tell you that much. It's The Legend of Ochi, or Okja, or Achaya, whatever you like. It's a small creature. Actually, it's a small creature in this, but they get quite big, don't they? They're almost ape-like. What an amazing film. Addie saw it and was like, hey, can we do an episode on this? And I was like, whatever, I'll do whatever you want. I'm excited about it. And you said it was, had a little tiny creature in it. And the little tiny creature, it reminds me so much of my cat Clark. It was difficult to watch at times. But it's a beautiful film. It's set in the Carpathian Mountains, but it's almost a fantasy film in a lot of ways. It's this, small community, a place that we've never really seen before on camera in a lot of ways. And they are sort of, I don't know, living the older ways, hunting and sort of traditional hunting and gathering kind of thing. And one of the things that they hunt is the Ochi. And they are very scary in the nighttime looking hairy ape beasts who don't like being shot at, which is totally fair. People do that all the time. They go into the environment and go, that thing in there bit me. I'm like, well, don't fucking go in there because that's where it lives. You idiot. Don't go in the ocean and complain about getting bitten by a shark. That's where it lives. How would you feel if a shark turned up at your house? Ding dong. Sharkogram. Like, no, that's fucked up. But anyway, the point is our lead character, whose name is, remind me? Yuri. I'm not sure of the actress's name. She finds one of these creatures, a baby creature, and who was injured, and she sort of nurses it back to health and then goes on a journey to take it back to its family. Stunning film. Totally beautiful. How the fuck did you find this?
So I watched the trailer of it because it was A24, and then A24 plus like adventure and fantasy elements.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this is a debut film from the director.
Yeah, Isaiah. I'm not sure of his last name. Sorry. Yeah, really, really impressive first stint, and just in terms of the way that it looks, you were saying A24 film with fantasy elements and things like that. That's absolutely the case. But it also had a classical sort of cinematic language use. They use digital matte paintings to extend sets and things like that. A lot of the work of the creature work, they're all puppets, for the most part. There's CG shots, obviously, and enhancements, but there are people in suits, or the actual baby Ochi that you see through the majority of the film is a puppet, in the same way that they did with Grogu. Yeah, really exceptional to come out of the gate with something that confident of a film. Yeah,
it's okay. So the director is Isaiah Saxon, and Helena Zengil is the girl who plays Yuri.
Yeah, she's really great.
Yeah, man, she is amazing in this. It broke my heart because I was the only one in theater, and like it ran here for a week.
I don't think it ran here at all.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's backed by Agbo, which is Anthony and Joe Russo production, and A24, and it's got such a style, but it didn't land in theaters, and like it went unnoticed to a point where I don't think that people know that this exists.
Well, I mean, I had no idea, but I think maybe it's probably a really hard film to market because it's not. It's like you said, it's a bunch of different stuff, and it's not to its detriment. Like that's a benefit of it, that it's trying different stuff. Like it's not all the way a kids film, but it's not all the way an adults film. Like it's not 100% the Goonies, but it's also not 100% Gremlins either. Like it's sort of this weird middle ground, and it had a real. In terms of cinematography and stuff, it reminded me of the Troll Hunters, the Scandinavian picture. I think it was Scandinavian, and it's got like that, like I was saying before, that's on a classical style, but with a more modern palette, color-wise and things like that. You would be, I really don't know how you would market this film. Like, what would you say to people,
Yeah, that's definitely the case. That like there's no like right way to market this.
Unless you were to sort of say that it's, because to me it felt like an anime. Think about it, like the wilderness, like something like Princess Mononoke, or stuff, right. Stuff from the past. Howl's Moving Castle, like that kind of thing, like real Studio Ghibli,
like
journey
early 90s,
kind of thing. Early 90s stuff in particular, Spirited Away, which is fucking needs a rewatch. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Oh man, they're playing Princess Mononoke here at IMAX. I really want to go.
I think it's the 40th anniversary this year of it, or maybe 30th. Yeah, they've done it around here. It's such a good movie. It's just really, they just don't do stuff like that anymore, And that's what this felt like to me. It felt like an anime.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. It also feels very storybooky. Like it's he has those like shots, like you see like a character throw a spear and then it's a close over just a spear spinning.
Yes, the spear spinning through space. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it felt like genuinely, it felt like in the same vein as the Wild Robot.
Oh, 100%. Less sentimental, and less American feeling. But yeah, definitely, it had more of a European feel. But yeah, definitely of it. It'd be a good double bill, actually, those two movies.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, oh man, it looks so beautiful though. Like it's a storybook come to life shot on film. Like I don't know where you get that.
The place is really remarkable as well. Like I was saying before, the Corinthian Mountains is a new territory. It's not something we've seen in a lot of modern. Not modern. More sort of commercially accessible films, commercially successful otherwise, but just things that you could see. It's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful place, and they shot it there for real. They were talking about in the hut that the mother is in. Willem Dafoe and his wife are estranged, and so the family and the daughters, and they're kind of a family of hunters led by Willem Dafoe, and she's up there kind of trying to figure out the language and how the Ochi speak to each other, and she actually teaches her daughter how to speak it. She thinks it's an after effect of the bite, but it's actually that she already knew it. In the house that character lives in, they would have to play loud music and have disco lights going all night because bears were turning up and fucking up the set and eating the food and stuff like that. Like, you got to worry about bears. That's some legit filmmaking. Like, okay, so we got catering for tomorrow. We're going to make sure the teams, the trucks get here on time. We've got to watch out for the bears. Like, again, it's something that would be on the studio,
Yeah. It's also like, I don't know. It's weirdly so much about. I think it's a coming of age story, like through and through.
Yeah, and it's also about family reconciliation as well. Like in a really bold, signpost kind of way. So they get there and they deliver the baby Ochi back to its mother or parent, and then her mum's there with the flute and. They sort of come together and hug, and it's the two hugs, and that's how it ends. It ends with them all kind of, and even Willem Dafoe's character, he's like, I listened to that, whatever the band is, they're good. Like he's really trying, even though he's been this weird, anachronistic hunter guy the whole movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like it's so weird because you can't really like pinpoint in what year this takes place. Because for me, this is like early 2000s, but it could just definitely be present day, and like they just don't have that technology.
They didn't have phones. Yeah, I didn't even think about it, honestly. I was just kind of in it, and this is there's pockets of the world where people don't have fucking Wi-Fi or worry about all that nonsense,
Like the cinematography is a winner in this one, but I feel like just one of my favorite scenes is like you said, it's about family reconciliation, and I feel like one of the scenes where it like really hammers home is not the end, but like when you first see the mother, and she is like shepherding the sheep, and she hears the Ochi call, and it's like the parent of it probably is the parent of like the Ochi that we're following with Yuri. But for her, she hopes that it's her daughter. Like they're both hoping for the same thing, like reaching out.
Oh yeah, fuck! That's another level. Fuck! I didn't even feel that because at first, like you think, oh, she's wary of them too, because they're apparently these vicious creatures. When really they're just trying to fucking live their lives without getting shot.
Yeah. Is there anything in the film that didn't work for you?
The sound mix. People's dialogue was too quiet, but it might have been, my system or whatever. I don't know. That was really the only thing. I kind of am pretty forgiving of it immediately because, I don't, you can call me sentimental if you want. I don't give a fuck. The Ochi reminded me of Clark. And I was like, well, love him more than I've ever loved anything in my entire life. Of course I'm going to enjoy this film, you know. But also it's the pedigree of it too. Like I said before, it's that the practical puppetry work. Like it fucking it looks great. Like the actual mechanics of that stuff has come a really long way since Jaws and Gremlins, and it was good then. Now you can do the articulation you can get in these things, and the animation and the vividness of life inside of a puppet is so full on. And yeah, the actual design of it, and using digital, like I know digital matte paintings, but there's still matte paintings, you know, and you've got a live action plate that you extend, and you don't do it with AI or any of that stuff. You do it with craftspeople, you know. I think that was the thing that got me. So I was kind of in the bag for it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything I didn't like. I think for me, like, key to it, the most important thing is that it's about our relationship to the natural world, and that animals are our closest link to that, and we disrespect them a lot. You know, we misunderstand them a lot. I think people think that animals were put here for service and for food, and that's not the case. Most of the time, a variation of that particular animal was here before we were. You know, I've said it before. We don't own this planet. We share it. You know, with animals, and they don't. In the mind of someone like myself, there is no hierarchy. There is no food chain. There's an actual food chain that people buy into, you know, because of where we are, but societally, I mean. But there is no difference between me, like the complexities that are part of me, you know, as a human being. And that can be just the physical attributes, or it could also be, you know, my psyche and my personality and how I feel about things, and am I good or am I evil? Like, there's all these little strange things that go on in a person's head that make up who they are, right? And no two are the same. How arrogant to think that every animal isn't exactly like that. You know, every cat isn't exactly the same. I have 3 cats that are brothers, and they are all incredibly different temperaments, incredibly different behavior types. You know, they emote, they have rich emotional lives. A beetle, you pick up a beetle and look how complex it is, the design of that. Like, how arrogant to think that that is more important, less important than we are, because we can stand upright and fucking order McDonald's through a window. Like, everyone needs to grow the fuck up and realize that the natural environment that we live in, we're a product of it. It's not a product of us. So that message is really strong to me. So whatever things that might have cropped up in my head of like, oh, that didn't work for me, or something like the sound mix being a bit, you know, out of place, or you know, things stopped dead a lot of the time, a lot of atmosy kind of things. I forgive them because I'm really on board with what they're saying.
I feel like it genuinely like shows how like coexistence does not mean that you domesticate the animals. It means that you respect the place that they have in nature and learn to live in tandem of their place and your place.
But it's also not like, it's like the mum says, she's like, they're not our pets. We can't live in harmony, like all that stuff. That's only half true. Like, yes, you can't make all animals pets. Like, some animals are domesticated, you know, for that, and they should be pets because, you know, teaches good lessons and helps heal people sometimes from trauma and things like that. It helps kids understand about life and death, all that shit. But you're not going to bring a Bengal tiger into the house. You get a pussycat, you know. But understanding that environment that they live in is theirs, and that we are separate from it, is very important. But it also comes down to, in terms of the relationships that you build with animals that you do have a bond with, whether they are domesticated and they live in your house, or if you're a zookeeper who has a relationship to a gorilla or a tiger or whatever, you know, you see these relationships that build over time. It's the line that she says, "But he's my friend." Like, that's the whole thing, you know. Like, if you can't feel that about your pet, and I don't like that word, I've used the word friend as well. If you can't feel that about that animal, and if you don't like feel like you are an equal to that animal, then you probably shouldn't have it. you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very well said, man. I think the only part that doesn't work for me is like everything with Finn Wolfhard. I think every time he's on screen, it puts me out.
Yeah, it very sort of. They tried to have him be like, because he sees his sister leaving, and she's like, "I'm taking it home. Feed my caterpillars for me," and he lets her go, and then kind of uses that to get in good with his dad, but not telling her. When was the last time he saw her? Oh, at dinner with you. Like, that's not what happened. And then at the end, he's like, "She left because of you. I let her go, and she left because of you." Like, that arc for him needed to be. There needed to be an extra 10 minutes in there to give him that arc.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, he's not their like sibling. Like, his parents died, and he like Willem Dafoe's character like took him in. Like, he isn't like part of the family.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
it's all like he says it is. He's like my son now, and like that would be a position where you would, as that surrogate son, you would be wanting to please him all the time, you know. And the lamentation of the missing of the wife, and the connection from that to that wife being through the daughter, like that's a whole nother psychological thing for Willem Dafoe's character, you know, whose name is fuck.
Maxim.
It's not fuck. Maxim. That's pretty good. Sounds like a tampon though. I was getting all serious about animal rights. I have to make a tampon joke. Dildos and a condom.
Okay.
I'm a condom model. Okay. Sorry.
Really?
Yep. I put them on.
Man.
Model them around the house. Did you feel like the scene in the supermarket was like real Wes Anderson-y?
Yes, like the color grading and like the uniforms and everything, very Wes Anderson. But it felt like season 1 of Stranger Things, because like even like because Millie Bobby Brown's character, she goes into the supermarket and like she's never been to one because she's like been in a lab for so long, and she like takes like the Eggo boxes, like the waffles.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And like just walks out, and it reminded me of that. But I love how it's done here, where like the baby Ochi gets scared, and then like instead of like running away, she does the very sensible thing of like isolating him from like the rest of the people. I feel like moments like that and like details like that are why this film works so well. Like, it's like at every moment they treat like the baby Ochi and like all the Ochis as characters and not as like animals that are like part of a plot structure.
Yeah, they're not props.
Yeah, 100%.
There's real, especially the relationship between Ochi and the baby Ochi and, sorry, what was the lead character's name again? I only watched it today, everybody, so I haven't learned everybody's name.
Yuri.
You know, it starts out, she's trying to help him because it was injured. Sorry, not him or it or whatever. And bandaging up and then putting the fake teeth in and doing the raw to each other. Like, I've talked to Clarky all the time like that. When he meows at me, it's really specific and I meow back, you know, like. And then that scene in the supermarket where she gets bitten and you know, you see the sort of the poison taking effect and she tries to heal it with leeches and whatever. And her mum ends up finding her and taking her back and giving her that bat blood, you know, that they built up an immunity. I'm only going through all of these parts to talk about how specific all that is, because all of those things resolve. It's not like the mum has a wooden hand because she got bitten by one and the dad didn't take care of it properly. He just chopped it off when really all you needed was this antidote thing. Like I said, like a manga, there's so many, an anime, there's so many layers of story going on. And it's interesting too, because I feel like this movie could play silent.
100%.
Yeah, like the film, we'll get to the score in a minute, but if you were to completely pull the dialogue out of this movie or have it be only in like Ochi language, the musical language that the Ochi speak, it still totally works. Like, I honestly can't remember a lot of the dialogue, but I remember the story and the visuals and the feeling I got. Like the scene where she's on the ground with her arm in the thing trying to get the leeches to work, and the Ochi picks up the bug and gives it to her. Like, that moment of connection, that was stronger than anything that could be said. And then she learns how to speak like it. And then a little bit later, there's a whole sequence that's just in that language, and it's not subtitled. And the puppet work is so good, and that young actress is so good. You get everything. And it's about a lot of stuff at that particular moment. It's about her family and her mum, and, you know, about, oh, sorry, I knocked my mic, trying to take the Ochi back to its family. And there's so much going on, like character-wise there and story-wise there. And yet they're not speaking English. They're not even speaking a language, you know. They're making musical noises. Fucking incredible, you know. That's a really innovative thing to do.
Yeah, like I genuinely love those parts, because I love that there was such a vision that the director and the writer are the same people. Fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
The director and the writer, yeah, that's the same person.
Yeah. Also, the fucking idiot was for me, not the director and the writer.
I know. I'm following you.
To have the power to write something like that and not have like subtitles is a really powerful move, because then, like, as an audience member, you at that moment, you know if you're locked into the story or not, because if it feels boring or like you're distracted, then it's probably not the film for you. But I can't imagine getting to that point and then like not understanding what that scene is about. And the perfect thing about that, you're like, not perfect, but like the beautiful thing about that scene is that it can mean so many things to you, and it will be completely different for somebody else.
Yeah, the way that I'm reading it might be different than the way that you're reading it, based on your, you know, whatever happening for you right in that moment, even sometimes.
Yeah, like for me, it's more about like them connecting and like the trust building, right? But for you, it could be completely different.
Yeah, it is a moment that's fairly pivotal in terms of them building a relationship, and the Ochi more than Yuri, I guess. I fucking love the design of the character too. It's kind of part mouse, part cat, part monkey, and I'm totally here for it. But I think the in terms of sticking with it, you know, it starts with a bang. It starts with sort of an explanation of, you know, the where we are and what's happening. You know, it's the hero story. This is the world as it is, and then what's going to change. And the hunting party, you've got Willem Dafoe, and he's got these gaggle of teenage-ish boys and this young daughter that he takes out on hunting parties and stuff. And and he's wearing old-timey armor, like the kind of armor that his ancestors would have wore to do the same thing. And it like I said before, it's anachronistic. It's the strange hunting traditions that are based purely on class system and tradition, like fox hunting and all that fucking nonsense. Like, I understand fox are pests in most places, but we put them there, so maybe don't be a dick about it. But that part of the story is going on straight away. You know, there's an action sequence at the very beginning, and if you don't know what's coming, if you don't understand what's coming in the story, you know, you don't know it's not fucking Congo and they're actually a threat, when really they're just being protective of their environment, you know. It's so
beautifully made that like it's like all of the praises and everything are in the film. I love that the misogyny of Maximus' character is highlighted and then cured, because the reveal at the end, or like before the resolution, is that they don't come from an ancestral family of hunters. Like this is him trying to be cool, and wanting it to share with his son that he never got, and that's poisoned him for so long. Right? Like he says it to her face that like your mom couldn't give me a son or something like that. And it's like that's the reason why he calls all like his troop my boys. Like he's yearning for something that not only is harming him, but he's unable to recognize it, and he's so wrapped up in his grief of losing his wife to not even understand the wrong in his ways.
And you got to give it up for Willem Dafoe. Like, that guy fucking commits. I've never seen him not give it 110%, in every role. I really need to see Nosferatu. I neglected to see it. It was on when we were in the States, and the times didn't work out, and then whatever. And I know it's on streaming now. I should check it out. He's one of the best actors ever. I really love the idea of music as language. I'm not a musician, I don't think. I can play the drums, but and I have done for a long time in bands and stuff. I don't play anymore, but I have a musical ear. Music is a huge part of being an editor. Rhythm and pace dictated by, dialogue and music and Foley is musical to me. But to speak in musical language is really interesting to me. It's a really innovative idea. Like I said, this movie does innovate. It takes what is already there in terms of the things that you can do with a story, is particularly one like this, and then just takes it to the next step of something that's another interesting avenue that maybe we haven't thought about, like a creature of some sort of unknown origin as well. You don't know where they come from. They just exist in this place, communicating through sound. The only other time I can think of that is when they were doing it in Close Encounters, where they were communicating, and most of that was lights as well. But anyway, more to the point, I love that. And also to be able to speak the same language as your animals in general, but as your pets, like what a gift that would be. However, I'm pretty sure most of the time they would just be like, I'm hungry, I'm bored, I'm sleepy, I've just done a shit. Clark will announce that he's about to have or has just had a shit. He will walk out and go, row, 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 row. And then off he goes. I'm like, he's having a shit meow. And I appreciate that I can understand that, but I'd love to be able to converse with the little guy,
Yeah. I love the concept that it's not language as we understand it. Like it's through song, but it's more them communicating their emotions and their feelings, and it's not words. Like it's not, hi, how are you doing? It's this is how I feel, and I can only show it to you if you feel it the way that I do.
Yeah, and that's something that the mum who's is it Emma Watts?
No, it's Emily Watson. You're almost
Emily
there.
Watson. Fucking, it was like, yeah, half and half. Idiot. She's great. I really, really like her as a performer. She's wonderful in Red Dragon, playing a blind woman. But she explains this to Yuri that the language is musical, and you see all the stuff on the walls, and she's trying to learn how to do it. She's got the flute that kind of mimics it, and she's a scientist about it. She's got a scientific mind, whereas her husband is superstitious and believes them to be, and he's a holy man. That conversation is I taught you this stuff, and you sort of see all that, like I said, all that documentation. That idea of the learning how to do that. Sorry, I kind of forgot my point.
Yeah, it's the language of sound.
Yeah,
I guess
that's all right. It's gone, whatever it was. It's just a really interesting way to have them. Yeah, the emotional, like it's a more emotional thing. That was what I was trying to get at. Sorry, more than words.
And I love how that even the mom is wrong in parts, because she says that if you return the baby Oshi back to their parent, they will toss it because it has the stench of humans.
Yeah. It's like a baby bird.
Yeah. And like how she's like, we can't coexist. But like the Ochis never like harm them when Yuri goes and delivers like the baby back. Like I love how in the ending sequence, like there's so much more world building there, because you see that like the parent is living in a skull of what would have been their ancestors, and so like it's been an evolution for them as well, and like to see to have that knowledge and to have lost it. I don't know where the fuck it went.
That's all right. We're both doing that. It's late. I will say this, two particular things. It's kind of a dream. It feels really dreamy. And I was here for that. I felt it in the cinematography and the color choice, the palette of it. Even the performances were kind of, just a little sort of mannered and off-center. It wasn't normal kind of conversations going on. It's a really interesting script, and it's kind of bare as well. You get information, but like it's only, you're intuiting a lot, in the same way that the language barrier, is there's a lot of intuition going on there. The fucking score, at first it's almost incongruous. You're like, this doesn't sound right for what it is. And then you get into it and it gets into the action. And I don't mean like the beats of the action. I mean, it gets into the story and it starts doing these things. And it really is a lot. Sometimes it's almost juxtaposed to what's happening, but it works. It totally works. I would fucking love to see this with a live orchestra. You know where you can do that sometimes. That's just the perfect score. There's so many interesting melodic elements going on, and you've got the Ochi sound as well, which is also musical, and that's kind of in direct conflict with some of the score that's happening sometimes. So it's going to hear them replicate that would be amazing. That was one of the highlights for me, was the music. Yeah, I feel like the soundtrack, like the score, is I think it really hones in the point that because the Ochi sound is always there, that they've always been there. Like, it's always a story about coexisting with each other, right? Like, and like, there's no respect in boundaries, because like sometimes the Ochi sound is a lot. Like it goes over the score, and like it seems to not work, and then it does, and then you're feeling different things at different point. Like you should be scared. Like the first time you see them, you should be scared, but it starts off with that score, with the Ochi sound score, and you're like, I'm more fascinated than scared, and like you immediately get that like they're the people hunting them. Like it's not the other way around, and it's not like a war. It's Willem Dafoe's character wanting it to be a war so that he can rationalize the things that have gone wrong in his life that he wasn't in control of, or couldn't be. Yeah, what an excellent read on it. Absolutely. And he does get his redemption, at the end. They find the place. Yuri takes the baby Ochi back there. Her mother follows her, and the war party's coming as well. And Willem Dafoe sees what he's done, what he has wrought, and walks into the water and picks her up and on his shoulders and takes her over to the mother Ochi, and you have that beautiful reconciliation. And it's it's a really remarkable picture. It's another one I was like, I'm so grateful that we have this show and that you're my friend, because I wouldn't have seen it. There wouldn't have been any reason for me to. Same with The Wild Robot. Thought it was a kid's picture, and ended up being one of the most important. I'm serious. It ended up being one of the most important movies of my life, watching that movie at that particular time, just before I went overseas. And it was, I cannot repay you.
You don't have to.
Repay you. Unless there's a movie that I introduce you to that you're like, Morbius. There you go. I told you to see Morbius, and you were like, fuck yeah, Morbius rules, medal.
Yeah, anyway. Also The Matrix.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That movie's still a really, really good film. Anyway, do you want to have a chat about some favorite parts and pieces of the bit? Because I have a couple written down. one that I really enjoyed was a story beat, but it was a bit of dialogue as well, where she talks about the first scream. Like, so true. There's no knowing, there's no knowledge there, there's no learning. It's just pure instinct. And I've never thought about that before. And it's such an animalistic way to think about the way that we behave. Like, think about if you've ever heard anybody, get terrible news or get great news, that the involuntary sounds that we make are so much more honest than the ones that we put on in anger or in feigning happiness. When you actually get someone, laughter's the best one though, because you can't control that. You can pretend to laugh, but it's so easy to hear the falseness in that. But when you actually get somebody, like someone made a joke to me today, I can't tell it because it was really dirty, but my business partner made a joke today, and like I hurt from laughing so hard. And when I laugh, like honestly, I mean, you all know, you listen to the show, I sound like fucking a non-homicidal version of the Joker. It is absolutely insane. I went to a play once. It was a Noel Coward play, and I fucking love Noel Coward. It was my favorite, Hay Fever. It's just such an excellent script. There's one particular scene in that where the actor like put fish into his mouth and then spat it out slowly because it was so bad. And I was inconsolable, like just hysterics. And then the fucking lights came up and the curtain went down for interval, and the woman sitting like 2 seats away from us leaned over and she goes, "You're having a really good time, aren't you?" I'm like, "I fucking am. It's fucking excellent." That honesty is beautiful, and that the first scream, the pure instinct scream, made me think of that.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Yeah, it's so great. Definitely, but he's my friend. Oh my God. It's just so, if you've ever loved another creature like outside of yourself, a pet or, your childhood dog, or just something so much that you cannot express how much. This is probably the way that parents feel, I guess. But I mean something that wasn't yours, you didn't create, and the protection and affection that you feel for that creature, like, but he's my friend is the answer to why that is, like that's a friendship that you choose. Some friendships you kind of fall into, but yeah, particularly beautiful moment for me.
My number 3 is the connection with the caterpillars. And I only say that as an addendum, or not an addendum. What the fuck is that? As a point to make that it's a coming of age story, because unknowingly she's still communicating with the caterpillars, because at the end, when the Ochi sing, it's the caterpillar singing as well. Yeah, and so she did not, like, Yuri doesn't know that she has it until she needs it, but she's always had it. Like, it's always been a part of her.
Yeah, it is those moments between Yuri and the Ochi that are kind of, where she tells it not to eat the caterpillar and it puts it on its hand and puts it back in the enclosure. That's it for me. It's that moment when that bond is really formed, when he takes the bug and reaches out with those beautiful the puppet hands, like, to scale hands, and you just see the eye and you believe it. Like, that's the thing that got me. Like, I know it's a puppet, I can cognize that it's a puppet, but at no point did it disconnect me from what was happening in the story. Like, I believed that creature the same way that people feel about Grogu. Like, the only reason I don't feel about that is because it's Star Wars and that there's too much previous. And sometimes I couldn't tell where the strings were either. I was like, is that a CG or is that a puppet? I can't fucking tell. Exceptional work to be able to bring something to life like that. So
yeah, like I bought it immediately. Like, I wasn't even thinking for a second about like the behind the scenes of it and like how they would make the baby Ochi move like that. But it's so impressive to have that feat, especially in like your first fucking feature film. Yeah,
he's got an interesting career ahead of him. He kind of reminded me of Lowry. Someone Lowry made Pete the Dragon and the Green Knight.
Oh, wait, hold on. I know who you're talking about.
It's not Pete Lowry. He made Pete the Dragon, you fucking tit head. You and I are saying, Mike, it's not Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry is Will Smith's character in Bad Boys. You shaved ape. David Lowry. Yep. Yeah, there we go. That guy. That's kind of reminding me of. Fantastic. Did you have a number one?
Yeah, my number one is a baby scream is his most purest emotion.
Yeah, so true. Never thought of it like that before. What a
great angle. It comes from like you think it's telling you about the animalistic nature of humans, but it's not that. It's about our connection to the natural world that we share and it can coexist and are a part of.
And I think it's a really important message. Even if you don't get it the first time, you might get it when you think about it a little bit harder. So please do go and check out The Legend of Ochi. It came out this year, apparently. A24. You can probably find it on streaming or for rent somewhere or out there on the open seas. But however way you can, check it out. Do we have any questions for this evening?
Yes, we do. All right, so one asks, if you could have a companion like Ochi, what animal would it be? And it cannot be cats or dogs.
Oh, you motherfucker. I was just going to say, my cat Clark is my Ochi, 100%. Shit. A fox.
That'd be cool.
No. Like Ochi, as in it has to be like small and cute and cuddly, because I would really like to have a wolf.
The wolf can be small, cute, and cuddly as well, and be fucking ferocious.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a baby one to start with, and then it gets bigger. But if it had to be like a little thing, maybe a tortoise or a turtle. The other day, I'm a fucking 40. I'll be 43 in a couple of months, right? I only just found out the difference between a turtle and a tortoise is that tortoises have feet and turtles have flippers.
I had it the other way around my entire life.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, you were many days old that you figured it out. But I've been on this planet for, 4 decades, and I've only just figured this out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why do they have feet?
Well, because they were mutants.
That's fucked me up now. They do. They've got the hands yeah, I know, but still, like, shouldn't they have like slappy flipper hands like the Penguin in Batman Returns? I'm serious, man. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And their feet don't look right, come to think of it. If you think about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they've got they're not even webbed. And they're not like clumpy feet the way that tortoises are either. So it doesn't make any sense. They've got they've got 2 fingers and a thumb. Who the fuck completely ruined the whole Ninja Turtle game for me now? Fuck that shit. I'm actually going to see the Ninja Turtles on Sunday. They're doing a retro of it at the Astor because it's like the 30th. Actually, it might be the 40th. No, it can't be the 40th. It must be the 30th anniversary of that movie coming out. Fucking can't wait.
I like the original from the 90s.
Yeah, most successful independent film of all time.
Shit, for real?
Yeah. It made incredible bank because it was the Ninja Turtles, but no one really thought it would do well in live action. So they produced it independently, and it fucking just blew the tits off the place. Anyway, sorry. So my answer is a little tiny tortoise or turtle. Turtles are cuter with the little flippers. So yeah.
When you said a fox, it reminded me of the Green Knight, where the fox has been following him the entire journey.
Yep.
And that's such a cool movie. It's so fucking
really good. Yeah. What about you? What would you like to have? A monkey?
Nah, I think a monkey is too similar of a creature.
Yep, that's fair.
I'll say a rabbit or a hare, like a wild hare.
See, what's the difference between them? I think hares are bigger.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Anyway, that's a good one. What's the second question?
Second one's from Chaz. Hi, Chaz. If you crash landed in a mysterious forest with all natural resources, what one thing would you hope to find?
No one else. It would be great if it was absolutely nobody and I could live in the woods in peace and quiet. What's that quote? You don't find Zen on the mountain. You take the Zen up there with you, you know. I think I would do just fine. I wouldn't mind if I could find some good soil, you know, to be able to grow stuff.
I think no spiders.
No, so, you want to not find something. You want to eliminate something, yeah.
Let's not find spiders at all.
Yeah, let's just not find them in general, everybody. Let's just fuck spiders in their stupid faces. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the episode. We hope you did enjoy it. If you haven't seen the Ochi, how very odd of you to listen to this episode, but never mind. Go and check it out. It is really, really exceptional. If you have seen it, check it out again and just try and hear that message in your heart about we're all here together, and that includes little creatures of all kinds, great and small. Addie, thanks so much for introducing me to this film. I do appreciate it. It's you were right. It's you were like, you love it. I'm like, of course, you know me so well.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you really, really liked it, because I honestly have not seen anybody else talk about this. I was like, maybe we can do an episode on this because like nobody has talked about it.
I hope that if one person watches this, like watches it based on listening to this show, we did our job. Then I'm happy with the way that we've ironed out the problem in that universe. You know, excellent. Well, folks, we'll see you next time. We're doing the life of Chuck next week.
Yeah, the life of Chuck.
Yes. Come back here for some Chuck next week. Is the colloquialism have like chucking for vomiting the same there as it is here?
Oh, for us, chucking is like throwing something.
Throwing, so yeah, no, that is for Australians as well. But like having a chuck, like, oh mate, she's having a chuck, it means you're throwing up as well. No? Do you have any fun ones?
No.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, fuck hate.
Love wins.